Hi, this is Peter Bremer. I'm a reference and instruction librarian here at Briggs Library, and today I'm going to show you how you can import references into your Endnote library. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll share my screen here. We're going to start actually by going into the database Academic Search Premier. One thing I should mention is that it is recommended you use the Mozilla Firefox browser, especially if you are on a Mac. For this will make it much easier to bring your references into your Endnote library. All right, let's go ahead and type in some key terms. And then from the results list, when you're in Academic Search Premier, it's pretty easy to actually get a reference into your library. All you have to do is click on a particular title or article that you're interested in. And then on the right side, you'll see an export option. You can go ahead and click on that. And the direct export in RAS format should already be selected. And then you can just hit save. And then you should have a download window that appears. You can click on that most recent downloaded file. And then that will actually push it into your Endnote library. I'm going to go ahead and I'll show you really quick what that Endnote library looks like now. If I go into my library, you can see the reference, and from there we can go ahead and we can put it into whatever group we would like. So that's how to get a reference from a database like Academic Search Premier into your Endnote library. And then next, I will go ahead and show you a couple other databases. Okay, the next database we're going to take a look at is called JSTOR, another popular database. I'll go ahead and share my screen. And let's go into JSTOR. Okay, so once again, we're interested in bubbles. And from the results list in JSTOR, all you have to do right from the results list is for the particular article you're interested in, you can click on the cite option on the right side, and then look down for the export a RAS file. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And then once again, I'm going to click on that most recent downloaded file, and that will bring it into my Endnote library right there. It's important that you make sure you have your Endnote library open before you try to import references into it. Okay, so we've done JSTOR. Let's look at another one. This next database is going to be PsycINFO. And so this is what PsycINFO looks like. And let's go ahead and type in our bubbles again. So in PsycINFO, from the results list, you can go ahead and click on as many articles as you're interested in. And then over on the right side, you'll see this little ellipse. We can go ahead and choose that. And then we're going to choose RIS, Endnote. And then up will pop this window. And sometimes you'll see this, I'm not a robot. And assuming you're not a robot, you can go ahead and click on that. And then sometimes you'll be asked to verify a certain image. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll jump through those hoops. Okay, and sometimes you have to do it again. And I know it's that can be a little time consuming, but we'll go ahead and we'll get that taken care of here. All right, and then hopefully now it's just going to let us right in. All right, so it's gonna get those references ready for us. And once again, now all we have to do is just click on that most recent downloaded file, and then it'll pop right into our Endnote library. And keep in mind, right, that even though, as you've noticed, when we've gone back into our Endnote library, the most recent references appear, but the ones previous have gone away. They're not actually gone, even if we forget to put them in our group right away. They're all in here under either all references or in recently added. So just wanted to point that out. All right, so let's go ahead and look at one more database. This one is called Science Direct. I want to give you kind of a taste of lots of different databases in different disciplines. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'll share my screen yet again. And let's go into Science Direct. Okay, so we're still doing our bubble research. All right, from the results list in Science Direct, you can check again whatever articles that you're interested in. And then that export option is front and center right up there. So I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to make sure I choose Export Citation to RIS. And then it's going to, at the top of my download window, it's going to have those files or file waiting for me. I'm going to go ahead and import that right into my library. And then as always, I can go ahead and I can drag and drop that into whatever folder I want. So that's how to get references from a Briggs Library database into your Endnote library. Next, I'll show you how to get items from our Briggs Library catalog into your Endnote library. All right, let's go ahead and go into our Briggs Library Pounce catalog, and I'll show you how to get a book or other item in there. All right, so let's say we're in Pounce, and we'll do our search yet again. And from the results list, when you're in Pounce, you can go ahead and if there's a particular item that you're interested in getting into your Endnote library, all we have to do is click on that particular option, and then we can bring it right into our Endnote library. And I'm just going to do a quick refresh here for that. All right. And so I'm going to go ahead here and I'm going to click on this particles, bubbles, and drops. And then I'll go into the record. And once you're into the record, then if you just scroll down a little bit, you're going to see this Export RIS option. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and that'll bring up this Select Encoding window. And choose UTF-8. And that's going to be the one for EndNote. And then just click Download. And then once again, right, from your download window, just click on that most recent one. In this case, it's Primo. That connects back into our catalog. And voila, there is our item. And I can drag and drop that right into that group again. Okay, so I'm going to show you one more thing. And that's going to be how to get an item maybe in Google Scholar that you found and you want to get it into that EndNote library. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go to Google Scholar. And Google Scholar, if you don't know, is a great way to look for articles and scholarly content on Google. It's all scholarly stuff. So let's do our search. And it's pretty easy in Google Scholar to get something into your EndNote library. All you have to do, for example, is if there's a particular article or item that you want to get in, just click on Cite. And then from the Cite window, click on EndNote. And then once again, you'll have that downloaded file at the top. You can click on that, and that'll bring it right in to your EndNote library. So that's a short tutorial on how to get articles and books and other things into your EndNote library. If you have any questions about other databases and how to get references in, or just any EndNote questions at all, you can certainly reach out to me, Peter Bremer, or you can just ask a librarian, and we would be more than happy to help you out. I hope this was helpful, and good luck with your research.